Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, who is most merciful and most beneficial. I welcome you all in science class and hope you are all fine. I am your teacher Rubia Mazhar. Dear students, today we are going to study a very interesting topic related to animals. So, our unit number 1, lesson number 7, and it is from your book page number 14 to 17. The topic name is animal groups. As we know that there are a lot of number of animals which Allah has created. So there should be some types of group and there are different and similarities between them. First of all, we should know about the what is a species. That animals or plants of same kind is known as species. Whenever we are going to study about any group of an animal or a plant, we should consider that from which it is considered as a species. For example, animals or plants of same kind is known as species. Whenever the same kind of animals are there, they are a group of species. For example, here is a group of birds and it is a species of a birds. Birds are of different types but they have same characteristics. So animals or plants of same kind is known as species. Just like plants of the same kind are also known as their species. About 1,500,000 species of animals have been named. Till now, scientists have discovered 1,500,000 species of animals which have been named, and more than 400,000 species of plants have been named. So, species is a group or a same kind of animals or plants is known as species. Now, what do you mean by classification? Sorting process of animals and plants into groups is called classification. As you know that we have also make you in the form of groups, or all the students of fifth class are divided into different sections so that we can classify easily. The girl sections are different and the boy sections are different. So we classify them just like that. Animals and plants are also sort in the form of groups that we can easily study them. Now, or you can also say that to put in an order is also known as classification. To put the things or the plants or the groups in an order is known as classification. Here comes a question that why there is a need of classification. There are so many kinds of animals and plants that no one could study all of them because Allah has created too much kinds of animals and plants so that no one could be able to study at the same time all the species. That's why scientists sort living things into groups. That the whenever you go, you need to study, you have to open their group and you will able to classify them. So classification is very important, has a very important role because there are so many kinds and animals and plants that no one could study all of them at the time. That's why scientists put them into groups. So here comes that why what is the composition of animals. If as we studied about the groups of animals, so we should have the knowledge about the composition of animals. Composition of animals mean how, which is the basic structure and functions of the animals. So cells are the basic unit of an animal, and when they combine together they form a tissue, and tissue are joined together to form a specialized function. For example, different types of blood tissues are held red blood cells, white blood cells. They are all combined together to form a tissue, and tissues are joined together to form a special organ which perform a special function. For example, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, these are all the organs. And when these organs combine together, they form a system, circulatory system, digestive system. So these are all the steps through which an animal going through. First of all, cells. Cells are the tiny and basic units of life. Second one is tissue, Cells are joined together to form a specific tissue, and after that these tissues are joined together to form an organ, and these organs are joined together to form a specific system. So this is known as the composition of animals. Now there are two biggest groups of animals. We know that one is vertebrate and the second one is invertebrate. You have studied about these in class 3. Now we are going in more detail in class 5. So two biggest groups of animals are vertebrates and invertebrates. So here comes vertebrates. Vertebrates are the animals that have a backbone, which have a spinal cord or a backbone are known as vertebrates. All the animals which have a backbone that support their skeleton are known as vertebrates. And these vertebrates are in turn divided into five main classes. First one is mammals, second birds, third fish, fourth reptiles, and fifth one is amphibians. Tomorrow we will discuss about the five classes of the vertebrates. So here today we are only discussing about the vertebrates, what are vertebrates and what are their classes, and second one is what is an invertebrate. So invertebrate are animals that do not have a spinal column, or you can say that they do not have a backbone or a skeleton made of bones. Some invertebrates are, these are the examples: jellyfish, worms, mollusks, and arthropods. Arthropods are the invertebrates which have too many legs. Mollusks are those which are soft bodied, for example, snail, worms, and jellyfish. These are all the examples of the invertebrate. So here some more examples of invertebrates and vertebrates: fish, birds, reptile, amphibian, mammals, and here are invertebrates, sea stars, arthropods, mollusks, sponges. These are all the example of the invertebrates and vertebrates. So hopefully you have understood that there are two major groups of animals. One is invertebrate and second one is vertebrate. Dear students, this is homework for today. Question number one is define classification. You have to define what do you mean by classification. After that, how many species of plants have been named yet? How many species of plants have been named? Only you have write the amount which is given in your books. And the question number three is write a difference between vertebrate and an invertebrate. You have to differentiate between vertebrate and an invertebrate. Keep your writing very neat and clean, and ready your page just as I told you that you have to mention classwork, unit number, lesson number, and the topic. Hopefully you have understood your lesson. Inshallah, tomorrow we will study about the other branches of vertebrates. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.